Gravity. You have listened lots of about this and you know some of its effect. But have you ever thought? What will happen if any fluctuation occur in it? Anything will change? How much gravity is important to us? Was it really discovered when an apple falls on Newton? Finding gravity was that easy? If yes, then why only Newton thought about that? Welcome back to another very interesting video. Today we will find answer about what will happen if gravity removed from Earth. Let's first start with what is gravity and how it was discovered. The theory of gravity was first introduced by Sir Isaac Newton in the 17th century. He was an English physicist and mathematician. There is an interesting story that he observed an apple fall from tree, then he first thought of his system of gravity. He described gravity as a force that attracts two objects to each other in proportion to their masses and the distance between them. This theory is known as Newton's law of gravitation and remains an important part of physics today. Gravity is a weak force compared to the other fundamental forces, such as the strong and weak nuclear forces. Finding theory of gravity took a lot of time. He was not only who described gravity, there are many scientists. In the early 20th century, Albert Einstein proposed a new theory of gravity called general relativity, which replaced Newton's theory and described gravity as a curvature of space-time caused by the presence of mass and energy. General relativity has been extensively tested and has been shown to accurately predict a wide range of phenomena, from the bending of light around massive objects to the existence of black holes. Gravity, which is responsible for holding planets in orbit around stars and galaxies in clusters. The strength and direction of gravitational field vary at different points in space around the Earth. Like, the gravitational force is stronger at the poles than at the equator, because the Earth is not a perfect sphere and is slightly flattened at the poles. Similarly, the gravitational force is weaker at higher altitudes because the distance between an object and the center of the Earth increases. Scientists use sensitive instruments called gravimeters to measure these variations and create maps of the Earth's gravity field. The Earth's gravitational field is what holds everything on its surface and in its atmosphere. It also keeps the Moon in orbit around the Earth and causes tides on our planet. So what will happen if suddenly the Earth's gravity starts fluctuating? In what way it is going to affect our life? Will the Earth get shrink if the gravitational field starts increasing? The Earth's gravitational field is also influenced by the distribution of mass within the Earth itself. The Earth has a dense core, a less dense mantle, and a thin crust, all of which have different densities and contribute to the gravitational field in different ways. The density variations within the Earth cause small variations in the gravitational field, which are typically negligible for everyday purposes. What will happen if Earth's gravity becomes less? We walk, we run on the surface of Earth, but without gravity we can't even stand properly. Decrease in the strength of the Earth's gravitational field would affect the atmosphere. The Earth's gravity holds the atmosphere in place and prevents it from escaping into space. Everything on Earth will start moving towards space. If the gravity were reduced, the atmosphere would start to slowly escape into space, causing it to become thinner and making it more difficult for humans and other living organisms to breathe. If the gravity were to decrease, the Earth's orbit would be affected, and it could potentially move further away from the Sun. This would cause a decrease in temperature on the planet, which would have a major impact on the climate and could result in widespread environmental changes. Increase in gravity would also affect the atmosphere, causing it to become denser and more compressed. This could result in changes to the climate and weather patterns, as well as increased air resistance, which could make it more difficult for aircraft and other vehicles to fly. The increased gravitational force would also have an impact on the planet's geology. It could potentially cause earthquakes, volcanic eruptions, and other geological disturbance. The higher gravity would increase the pressure and stress on the Earth's crust, which could lead to more frequent and more severe seismic activity. The increased gravity would also affect the orbit of the Moon, which could in turn affect the tides. The tides would become higher and more powerful, which could result in coastal flooding and erosion. So fluctuation in gravity will cause disaster on planet, making it impossible to live for any organism. It is difficult to imagine a world without gravity, as it is such a fundamental force that shapes the way we experience the world around us. However, if there were no gravity, the consequences would be profound and far-reaching.